Hey there guys, what is up? It's Itzluckful here, and today I'm doing another commentary for you guys. This is a little bit of Halo 4 gameplay in the background, which I believe is either heroic or legendary on the campaign level of Shutdown, I believe. Gosh, I have not played enough Halo 4 campaign to tell you this, but basically, in my last commentary, I was looking through the comments and I realised quite how negative I was towards Halo 4. Like, I was quite positive towards Halo, but Halo 4 I was like really negative to. A couple of people brought that up and I just thought, I bring out a commentary now telling you guys the positives I think about Halo 4. Now, I'm not the type to sit down and plan a commentary. I tried that when I first started out YouTube. Never went very well. Always sounded really dull, really boring. So I've always got to do stuff live because otherwise there's just no enthusiasm in my voice. And if you guys have ever heard me trying to read something like, just read out loud, I just mumble all my words and go blah 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 blah. So it's not really the best thing for me to be doing. So, I'm going to be trying to read out some comments today, so it could go really interesting. So we'll have to see. What I might have to do is basically just give a basic... how many times can I say basic in one sentence? But what I'm going to be doing is reading out some of the comments, giving my thoughts on Halo 4 in a positive way, what I think was good about Halo 4. So let's get started. Firstly, I would like to talk about the campaign, because the campaign for Halo 4, for me, was really good. I really enjoyed the campaign. Now, I know that some people are going to disagree. That's life. People can disagree. But in my personal opinion, I loved the Halo 4 campaign. I just felt it was compelling. I felt Halo 343 did a really good job at making it a Halo campaign. Something you can be immersed in. Something that made sense in the Halo universe. Something that really kind of was different to all of the other Halo. It was different from the original trilogy, which I felt was actually quite important about the Halo 4 campaign, because if it had been the same thing, like the Halo trilogy in a whole, I absolutely love the campaign, but there were certain predictabilities about it, such as you knew there was going to be Flood in it, you knew that kind of thing. And I think Halo Reach was one of the first games that Bungie did, bar Halo 3 ODST, because that was just kind of a extension of Halo 3. But apart from that, I think that was the only Halo not to include Flood. So there was this predictability about Halo that it was going to include Flood. Even Halo Wars included Flood, but 343 did break that. They had the Forerunner in there, and I felt it was a good change. I felt they did really well. As I said, I really enjoyed the campaign. There was a lot of new stuff they brought to it as well, such as the, what's it called? Is it the Cyclops? No, Mantis. Cyclops is the one of Halo Wars. I always get them confused. I always try and get it right, and I always realise once I say it afterwards that I got it wrong. But the Mantis, that was it was really cool having some mech in Halo 4. I thought that was a nice touch. And what was the other thing? Pelican. The fact that you could actually drive a Pelican in one of the missions, which I believe is the mission which I was just playing. I was either just in it or I'm in it now. I can't see the gameplay while I'm doing this. I have done it and I've recorded it, but I can't see it. So you'll see the Pelican in there. So that's actually quite relevant, the fact that I chose that level. Suddenly I feel like I've planned this. But yeah. So the campaign was something which I really did enjoy, and I really found as a positive Halo 4. Another positive which I found is Spartan Ops, which is a bit of a contentious one. People have mixed feelings on Spartan Ops, but personally I see it as a step in the right direction. I think it's a good step for Firefight, where it's going to be a weekly thing where hopefully there'll be like little missions and stuff. The one thing which I felt they could have done, which obviously I'm not saying, because obviously the game's so big anyway, but just if 343 at the time, what would have been really cool is if they'd actually made like different areas for it, because quite a lot of them were areas from the campaign which we'd already played and stuff. The storyline was really cool, and how they kind of edited it so you can play those maps. But it would have been cool to have some separate maps that, maybe later on as you like start getting into the depths of or this storyline a bit more, and you're kind of off the campaign a bit, or like you've finished the campaign and you want to go into Spartan Ops, that kind of thing. I just felt like maybe they could introduce some other areas, but they've done a little bit, I think, but still. I just thought it would be really cool if they like stuck some maps in from the beginning as well. Actually, that's a good point. Me saying about halfway through, it's just having the campaign. You can play through that campaign. And you're like, oh, I know this area. I can go up here and that kind of thing. You don't have the same awe as with the campaign where you're like, oh, this place is awesome. And you walk in Spartan Ops and you're a bit like, oh, I remember this. This is in the campaign. And you're like, oh, I can go up there and that's a really good area. And you don't really think about it as, oh, this is really cool. That kind of thing. And so I have my opinions on Spartan Ops, but I feel it's a great step in the right direction. I feel if they maybe if they really want to continue Spartan Ops, I reckon that's what they're going to have to do, is make their own maps, because it does take away a lot of the wow factor if you've already seen the places which you're doing. So yeah, I'd say that's the way to improve it and all that kind of thing. What other things did I have planned? What other goodies did I want to talk about? Multiplayer wise, a lot of people have been complaining about ranking system, and honestly I can understand that. I'm not the type of gamer that can really comment on the gameplay and how to make the gameplay better, what's wrong with the gameplay, because I'm quite a casual gamer. I'm not the type of gamer which is like, oh, the BR should be 4-shot or 5-shot and that kind of thing. I'm not that kind of guy, so I won't go too much into depth with that. The multiplayer's alright. And what I kind of meant, it's multiplayer I was specifically getting at when I was making my last commentary about my drive for Halo. And Project Delta it was that said a comment to me which really stood out, which is Halo 4 is a beautiful game that contains the core Halo components but lacks in other details and things. Yeah, you see, I can read, you know. Well, what was I saying earlier? I'm not even going to attempt the comment above it. That's like 6 lines worth. I'm not even going to try that. But Project Out, what he just summed up there is really good. And what I was trying to get at, Project Out, you're a great commenter. You are a great commentator. With thoughts like that, you're always going to do it. But, I mean, it's really good because he summed it up really, and what I was trying to get at. It's got the core Halo. It's got the core bit. It's why I find it fun when I play it, and that kind of thing while I'm getting it. But it's the finer details. It's the finer details which bring you back to the game. And there was Ethan's BR that was talking to me. Well, I say talking, I mean I read his comment. I don't know what it said talking. But it sometimes feels like a conversation in the comment section. Even though I can't reply because of a silly Google Plus thing, I still can't figure out how to reply. That's why there's no reply button. I don't get how you reply Google Plus. If you guys can tell me below how you actually reply with this new Google Plus type thing, I don't know how you do it. But anyway, and he kind of told me that maybe if you try and focus less on Halo 4's flaws, that you might enjoy the gameplay. And the thing is, I don't really focus on the flaws. I focus on whether the game's fun to me or not. And what Project Alpha said is what, in my opinion, is why I haven't got the drive for Halo 4 as I have with other Halos, which is the finer details just aren't quite mixing with it. It's not quite there. And by that, what I mean is it's the finer things which pull you back in. It's not the fact that I need to ignore the flaws, it's the fact that it's something that makes you say, come back. Now, for me, it's the multiplayer which I'm specifically referring to, because Halo 4, as I said, campaign, Spartan Ops, I really like them, and I have fun whenever I play them. Halo 4 campaign was very, I want to come back and I want to finish this, but now that I'm older, it's a bit like I finish a campaign, it's a bit like, well, I've got other stuff I need to do. I can't just play the campaign over and over like I did with Halo 3. Yes, I did that quite a lot over Halo 3's lifespan, but it's the multiplayer side which will be fresh, because every time you play it, will be a new game, it will be something new that will happen. But with Halo 4, it's the finer details that don't keep pulling me back into this game and going, I want to play this, rather than, say, FIFA or Halo 3 or something like that, because I've been playing a lot of them recently. Assassin's Creed 2 is something which I couldn't download and just kind of ignored it, and then started playing that recently. I was like, ooh, this is quite fun. So I've been playing that quite a lot recently. That's definitely got me hooked in at the moment. But obviously, the thing is, at its core, Halo is a game which I find fun, which in the end is summed up by the fact that I do find Halo 4 fun. I find the core elements of it very fun. And really what I find is that Halo 4 doesn't have the pull factor, it doesn't have the factor to pull you back in. But that is another story. I'm going too negative again. I get very pulled in on this topic, but basically what I'm trying to say is the core components are there. 343 just need to get this little bit right, the little bit which will keep pulling you back in, and that is, in a way, the negative point I was making, and my negativity towards it is also a positive. It's just I didn't portray it very well, in the sense that it is a very small thing that is stopping this game from becoming what was a Halo 3 and a Halo 2 and that kind of thing, and it is just simply the finer details, as Project Delta puts it. And it is the pull factor, this thing that makes you want to come back in. And 343, this is the first game, they'll get it. And I think Halo 5, they will get it. In the end, I think Halo 5 will be the game which, if any game is going to bring back Halo to what it was, I think Halo 5 will be that game. Because in the end, there's going to be a lot of hype around it, because it's one of the Xbox One games that's coming up. I mean, the Halo 5 hype is already starting. I saw a video come out about that just the other day. Can't remember who did it. Yeah, I can't remember who did it. But someone did a commentary about the Halo 5 hype, and I just realised I gotta go in about a minute, so let's start wrapping this up.